Bucharest, 27 February 1966. The Lightning of Darkness. A case of black magic. Last night, a desperate mother came to tell us that her son, Stefan, is sometimes obsessed by the image of a dog attacking him. He is a university student and often comes home with his pockets filled with stones to defend himself. We invite the student, Stefan, into the spiritual screen. Veronica. He has appeared. He seems frightened. George. Tell us, what is happening to you? Stefan. I don't know. I live in constant fear, and whenever I walk home, I see a large black dog. George. How long has this been happening? Stefan. For several years. George. How did it begin? Can you connect it with anything that happened in your life? Stefan. I told my mother what I see and what I feel. She told me that I had quicksilver, but I don't believe that. It sounds strange to tell someone that I have to fill my pockets with stones because I see a dog that fills me with overwhelming terror. Terrible terror. At this point, I interrupted the conversation, and we prayed that all the persons involved in this story, whether living or deceased, would appear in the screen. Veronica. An old woman and a young girl have appeared. George. Who are you? Girl. Lenuța. What do you want with this young man? Lenuța. I loved him from the time I was 15 years old, and he loved me too. Until I was 17, I struggled to persuade him that we should truly become lovers. George. What do you mean? Lenuța. To live together. We finally did when I was 17, without anyone knowing. But after we truly became intimate, he began to hate me. He hated me with all his heart. He kept telling me he would not marry until after finishing university. He constantly found faults in me and always invented reasons why we should remain only friends until marriage. This continual conflict between us lasted only 5 weeks. I followed him everywhere like a madwoman. I cannot say I loved him because of his appearance. I was not especially attracted to him physically, but I trusted him. I believed he would keep our secret, and I needed a man. I kept telling myself, eventually he will grow accustomed to me, and we shall marry. But his hatred for me increased day after day. I wanted him every day. He rejected me. Realizing that one day he would certainly leave me, I decided to seek out Mrs. Dimitrievich, because I had heard she could freeze people's lives through the spirits of demons. I searched until I found her. I told her everything. I explained that he hated me and would probably abandon me. She asked me, "What do you want? Do you want me to turn his love back towards you, so that you can completely control him and he will never again be free? Or shall we turn him from a man into something less than a man?" At first I thought, what good would it do if I controlled him while he continued to hate me? So I answered, I want to ruin him. Even if I had him, he would still hate me. She promised she would fulfill my wish, for a price. Lenuța, oh, I don't remember exactly. About 150 lei. I paid her. Then I waited to see the results. I watched to see whether he would begin loving someone else. Instead, I noticed that he became withdrawn. He treated me merely as an acquaintance, whom one greets politely. I simply waited for what I wanted to happen. Veronica, did you marry? Lenuța, I found another man with whom I now live. I did not notice anything extraordinary. These things remain well hidden. But I could see he had become somewhat disturbed. Through one of his friends I tried to learn what was happening to him, that he lived in fear. I was pleased. I hoped the illness would grow worse, and that no woman would ever remain with him. George, do you have anything else to add? That is everything. George, Veronica, her foundation is filthy. She has a broad blue band across her abdomen, symbolizing the sensuality in which she lives. There is also yellow, not a trace of gray. George, she has fallen completely and irreversibly. Now let us speak with the other person. Who are you? Old woman, Vasilica Dimitrievich. George, what do you do? Vasilica, my husband worked on ships. When I was young, I traveled extensively. In Constantinople, I found several books explaining how to summon spirits. I studied them. I thought that perhaps when I grew old, they might become a source of income. The Greeks are merchants by nature, and I had inherited that same inclination. I no longer possess those books, but for many years, I have practiced the calling and working with spirits. Vasilica, after a long period of effort, I succeeded in calling both good spirits and evil spirits, and they came. I discovered that the evil spirits were much closer to us and far more willing to help than the good ones. So I asked myself, whom should I call? The book instructed, Call and implore that person from the nearest spiritual world who resembles you spiritually and is able to help you. Make a friendship and a covenant with that being. Exactly as I read, so I did. After prolonged invocations, lengthy fasting, and setting aside every other concern, focusing on only one purpose, to make contact with the one I was calling, a man with eyes of fire appeared before me. That was the first manifestation. He said, "Although someone much lower than I could have been sent to you, my masters decided to send me because I am more skillful. They have seen in you a useful instrument. Let us make a covenant. You will remain faithful to us, and we will remain faithful to you. You shall become our servant, and we shall always be ready whenever you call, fulfilling everything you ask." From that day onward, after he promised to make me prosperous and happy, I surrendered myself to them. They pledged to help me for as long as I should live. I cannot say that I performed only evil deeds. I also did good things. I reconciled husbands and wives, young men and young women. I performed healings through what people called incantations. I say incantations because in reality, I invoked my companion. I would place water before me, which he would touch. If the illness was severe, he himself would enter the water. When the sick person bathed in it or drank it, he recovered. And so I did everything people asked of me. Everyone who came seeking my help received it. George, how old are you? Vasilikia, 73. George, do you live comfortably? Vasilikia, to say that I live comfortably would be an understatement. I live like royalty. I own a beautiful house. My income is excellent. I can afford both a cook and a housekeeper. My friend ensures they serve me like the most devoted servants. George, what exactly did you do in Lenutsa's case? Vasilikia, I called upon my companion and asked that an evil spirit be assigned to take some visible form that would continually appear before Stefan, terrifying him until he gradually lost his mental balance. Yet, I did feel a little pity. His mother is still young, so I decided merely to keep him imprisoned in fear. I intended to leave him in that condition until the girl eventually forgot him. Then, one day, I would withdraw the spirit. My companion said, "Let me think. I must decide which animal or bird would frighten him most." After considering it, he answered, "I shall send one of my subjects, who will take the form of a dog. With the power I grant him, he will force the young man to wander 3 different paths." Exactly as he said, so it happened. George, show us your spiritual colors. Veronica, her foundation is a very dark, filthy green. Dark green is the characteristic color associated with black magic. Veronica, across her chest runs a broad brown diagonal band. George, brown, the color representing theft, because she does not earn her living honestly like everyone else. Now, Stefan, show us your own foundation. Veronica, his is a faded gray, rather dim. George, actually, it is fairly good. Veronica, there is also a little blue upon him, otherwise, nothing. George, a reasonably clean young man. What a tragedy that he became the victim of such a wretched person. At that moment we sensed the presence of Sayukarta. We invited him. George, we bow before you, beloved Sayukarta. We were in the midst of an investigation. We wish to understand this entire team. You have arrived at exactly the right moment, because we would now like to invite the one who works with Vasilicia. Sayukarta, may the Father of Lights, the Lord of all, bless you, my beloved ones. You see, the works are divided. Just as the children of light are free, so also the children of darkness have their own freedom. Let him come. Let the one who rules over you appear. Veronica, he is coming. He is powerfully built, muscular, black, like a Nubian warrior. He has thick lips, and truly eyes like a wolf, eyes ready both to attack and defend. He stares at Sayu as though ready to fight him, eyes that steal. He radiates tremendous energy. Sayu remains completely calm, as though nothing at all were happening. His hair stands up like the quills of a hedgehog. He wears little more than rags, almost naked, although they are not really rags. His eyebrows are thick, more like twisted knots. The Dark One, why have you called me? Sayukarta, are you Vasilicha's companion? The Dark One, I am her master, the one who helps her, the one who protects her, the one who guides her safely through the difficulties of this world. Veronica, listen, the old woman has completely changed. She now appears confident, powerful, self-assured. It is as though she herself has become stronger, simply by standing beside this thick-lipped being. Ciu Karta. You perform your work diligently, do you not? The Dark One. Every call deserves an answer. I believe I perform my duty correctly. No one can accuse me. I carry out my service faithfully, just as everyone faithfully serves his own lord. Veronica. He keeps staring at Ciu with flared nostrils full of hatred. George. Where do you dwell? Where is your place? The Dark One. Must I really tell you? I am free. I can travel throughout the entire realm of darkness. I once shone in the light of the earth, and I still shine through my energy and my skill. George. What is your name? In my world I am called the lightning of darkness. When I lived on earth, my name was Nebuchadnezzar. George. To what nation did you belong? The Dark One. For many years I commanded armies in India. In my old age, I devoted myself to black magic. When I reached great old age, I left the earth and came to my masters. Because they valued me, and because I possessed tremendous spiritual energy, they gave me the name, the Lightning of Darkness. George. Was this before Christ? The Dark One. 1900 years before Christ. George. Ciu. What should we do to undo this work? Ciu Karta. Withdraw the beast that has been placed over Stefan. The Lightning of Darkness. I cannot. The Lightning of Darkness, because I was asked to do it. Vasilisha. Withdraw your hatred towards Stefan. Vasilisha. Why are you interfering with my work? Why do you interfere in what belongs to me? Why do you wish to ruin what I have done? If that is so, then let us begin interfering in each other's work. Ciu Karta. You were asked for assistance, and you answer that request. Now I ask you to withdraw the hatred you have directed towards Stefan. So then, must I die while watching him happy? After all, he suffers but he does not die. Allow it to continue a little longer, until I forget him. Ciu Karta. Very well. Let him continue to make atonement for a while longer. He too has debts that must still be paid. Yes. Go now, Lightning, to your own place. You also, depart. Otherwise he would return, carrying the same burdens with which he came. Veronica. The lightning has withdrawn. The two women have also gone. Only Stefan remains. Ciu Karta. You know that you came into this world in order to repay certain debts that caused unhappiness in your previous existence. Look how stained your garment still is. When your debts have been paid, you will move much more freely in our world. Do you understand? Ciu Karta. Be grateful that you have the opportunity to repay them now, rather than carry them with you any longer. Stefan. Yes, I accept. I realize that I am still spiritually underdeveloped. Ciu Karta. You too are free now. You may go. Ciu Karta. My beloved friends, many souls from the eternal world, both the happy and the unhappy, arrive carrying burdens they failed to lay down. Some are fortunate enough to repay their debts. Others continue carrying them. That is why suffering exists in your world. Much of it is the payment for wrongs committed in previous lives. Do not be surprised by this. If in one lifetime you oppressed another person for your own gain, then in another life you may experience a hunger beyond description. As you yourselves say, he has food, yet he is never satisfied. Or perhaps you suffer from an illness that continually torments you with hunger. The severity of the suffering corresponds to the seriousness of the original wrongdoing. The payment resembles the debt. Look how faithful and how honorable the children of darkness are among themselves. Oh, if only such honesty and loyalty also existed among human beings. You have seen their promptness. You have seen that in their own way, they also follow their own sense of justice. That is why we do not interfere with them. We do not involve ourselves in their affairs. Now, may you be blessed. Remain in the peace of our Lord.